The Big Show.
All right, also we'll start with last night where Zach Wilson was benched for Chris Devler in a 19-3 loss to the Jaguars, who are now firmly in the playoff hunt.
Well, they are firmly in the playoff hunt, and now the Jets very much are on the outside looking in. I didn't understand throughout the week why money was coming in on the Jets, and people thought the Jets would win. Maybe it's because Trevor Lawrence played so poorly in the rain in Philadelphia. Other than that, I'm not quite sure. Of course, now I look at it and wish I had taken the Jags in hindsight, but when it's only like a 1-point spread, but it ended up being where the Jets were favored by like 2.5. Jags didn't have Trayvon Walker. Jets get off to an awesome start as Quinnen Williams hits Trevor Lawrence, strips the ball, I don't know, like third play of the game. Jets get it, but they have to settle for a field goal. That was the only points the New York Jets got the entire game. Like 2 minutes into the game, and they hadn't even moved the ball. In fact, they might have gone backwards on the drive after the Quinnen Williams strip sack. The reality is the Jets defense deserves better. The Jets fans deserve better. I mean, it had to be painful for them to watch the guy taking one pick ahead of Zach Wilson, Trevor Lawrence, play well. It's kind of like Greg Cosell said yesterday. Lawrence knew where to go with the football. He was decisive. He used his legs really well. Rushed for over 50 yards, and a lot of those were critical, especially in bad weather. Gosh, that is such an advantage to have a quarterback that can get some first downs with their legs. And Lawrence is about as fast. Tell me if this makes sense. He's about as fast of a super tall quarterback as we've ever seen. I mean, he's fast, even though he's super tall. It's wild. Travis Etienne, explosive. Went over 1,000 yards for the season. Good for him. Zach Wilson, just like Trevor Lawrence, who Greg said was decisive. Zach Wilson's exactly who Greg said he is. Doesn't really see the blitz that well. Doesn't really know where to go with the ball. He made a couple of good throws, but it's few and far between. He just doesn't look comfortable. Doesn't look like he knows what he's doing, to be honest with you. You know, heavy rain and weather a factor, sure. They were. But the Jags still moved the ball much better than the Jets, who eventually benched Zach Wilson for Chris Trevler, CFL legend, NFL preseason legend. He was awesome, actually, in that Jets-Eagles preseason game this year that I called. And his first drive, I think he went longer than Zach Wilson had gotten in total yards the whole night. It's a shame. I think it's over for Zach Wilson with the Jets. I just don't think they're going to be able to go back to him. And I think he's kind of ruined mentally now. It's unfortunate. Quite frankly, the Jets need Mike White back as soon as possible. But even now, it might be too late. It's a shame. I found myself like mad at the Bills last night watching the game because them hurting Mike White affected my viewing enjoyment.